What's good, family? Welcome back to another video. So earlier today I just went to the crystal shop and I had a really interesting experience, and I thought I would share it with you guys. So out of all the things we talked about, the conversations we had, the topics we talked about a lot of things, from witchcraft to spell casting to affirmations, all kinds of things. But there was two main things that I took away. Number one is, when people go crystal shopping, they typically go for the crystals that resonates with them and that vibrates with their frequency at that point in time, at that stage of their life. And she shared her experience, and she was like, yeah, I mean, there was a crystal that's been in here for years and I've just never really was drawn to it, but one day all of a sudden, it caught my eye and it really drew me in, and I ended up buying it, and I ended up needing it, and I ended up really wanting it. And I just found that very interesting, because that correlates with just everything in life. Like, what you vibrate is what you're going to get back. The universe, it responds to whatever you're vibrating. And for an example, just the people you hang around with, the people you are around, they all reflect you. They all mirror you in some way, shape, or form. And typically they will vibrate at the same frequency as you. And, even just, for example, let's say you're just very happy, outgoing, funny, you like making people laugh. You would typically gravitate towards comedy and, stand-up comedy, or just comedy movies, or making people laugh, brightening people's day, being a jokester, being a class clown. But let's say you are more serious, more stern, you take accountability, you're self-disciplined, and you want things the way you want it. It's your way or the highway. You would probably be a teacher, you would probably gravitate towards a teaching job. So yeah, I mean, what she said is very true, and I believe that just correlates with just every aspect of your life. And it makes sense to me, because from my experience, when I first walked in there, hold up, let me switch lanes. From my experience, when I first walked in there, I instantly gravitated towards, I forget what this crystal was called off the top of my head, but I believe it was called a bloodstone. It was like a dark green color. I'm not sure what it was called, but I instantly gravitated towards that crystal, and that's the one that I first approached. That's the one that first caught my eye, and I ended up buying it. So, and just to give my little 2 cents, I feel like you should go crystal shopping whenever you feel like you're called upon to, right? Because me personally, I don't want to go once a week, once a month. I just go whenever I feel like I need to, and I feel like I'm called upon, and I feel like I want to get crystals. And I don't like to force things. I just want things to just naturally flow and just to naturally happen. And if that thought pops up in my head, like if I don't put a conscious effort into, like, hey, I want to go crystal shopping today, and I just randomly get that thought to get crystal shopping, I'm gonna go act on it. And that's the best way to, like, go about committing to your thoughts. Like, if you're doing something, like, for an example, if you're cooking and you just randomly think about going to the gym, or you randomly think about posting a YouTube video, that thought just gets placed in your head. That thought is placed in your head for a reason. You're supposed to act on it. And, that's just what I did. But the second thing that she shared with me, she really stressed the importance of setting your intention and having good intentions, most importantly. More specifically, when it deals with spell casting and witchcraft. That's one thing that she really advised me, was just to have good intentions. And as long as you have, this is what I'm gonna say, I feel like as long as you have the right intentions, and you have people's best interest and it's coming from the heart, I feel like you could never really do any wrong. But let me explain. In terms of relationships, let's say you're in a relationship and, you know, as long as you have good intentions, you mean good by that person, and you never cheat, you're always looking out for them, and you give 100% effort. If that person leaves you, you are not a failure. You are not at fault. You are not a loser. You didn't fail. You didn't mess up. All right, that person just no longer vibrates at your frequency. That person no longer is meant for you. And that's just, it is what it is. You vibrate higher now. Or, you know, in some aspects you might vibrate lower, but 9 times out of 10, you're probably vibrating higher, and that person no longer is meant for, you know, your journey and for whatever you're gonna go, wherever you're gonna go in life. And I just, like, that's one example. Another example of having good intentions and never really doing wrong is just like life, man. Just life. If you have good intentions in life and you follow your heart and you mean good by people, in my eyes, you can never really lose. Yes, there's going to be roadblocks, you're going to face adversity, but that's just what comes with life. That's just what we sign up for. That's the game. You got to play the game, you know? And that's all meant to build you and shape who you are. If we never went through adversity, if we never failed, if we never messed up, first of all, we wouldn't be able to decipher what's right from wrong. We wouldn't be able to decipher like how to do what's right. We wouldn't be able to learn. We wouldn't be able to learn from our mistakes. We wouldn't be able to learn from our past experience. Like, if life was just a steady road of no messing up, no failure, you're never gonna evolve. You're never really gonna grow. You're never really gonna, you know? So all that to say this, because I know I'm going on a tangent here. I gotta pull myself back down. Having good intentions, doing right by people, I don't think you could ever really go wrong. And as far as the experience that I've had at the Crystal Shop, it was much needed. I'm really glad I went there today. We talked for like an hour, and that was like the quickest hour of my life. Time flies when you're having a good conversation with somebody. And I could go on and on about what we talked about, but I think I'll leave it at that. I'm trying to think if there's one thing that I want to... Oh, here's the last thing. When you go crystal shopping, for anybody that's about to go, or if you've gone, you could vouch for me when I say this. When you go crystal shopping, you never want to... Because usually they'll have the crystal set up with the description right under it. You typically want to just look at the crystal. You want to grab it first, you want to take it, then you want to read the description. Because if you read the description of the crystal first before you pick it up and decide to take it, you might second guess, you might not end up getting it, and little did you know you actually needed it. So just go with whatever you gravitate towards, choose whatever catches your eye first. And yeah, I mean, that's all I really got for today's video. I hope you guys were able to learn something from my experience. I'm sorry you weren't able to see my face. I gotta drive, be safe on the road. I'm not even looking at the camera. But with all that being said, if you guys left this video motivated, inspired, or a better person, then I did my part. Other than that, peace, love, positivity. I love you guys. Take care of yourself, take care of your peers, and have a good night. Peace.